Hi, Big Tractor Power fans. This video comes to you from northwestern Kentucky, where a 215 horsepower Case IH 2166 Axial-Flow Combine with a 180 bushel grain bin is harvesting winter wheat with a 20-foot wide Shelbourne Reynolds SR 6000 stripper head. In this presentation, I would like to talk with you about the production history, specifications, and original price tag of both the combine and the header. We'll also take some time to ride in the cab of the combine to visit with the farmer to talk with him about this harvesting operation. But first, let's head out to the field so that you can see and hear this Axial-Flow Combine hard at work. The Case IH 2166 Axial-Flow Combine was new for model year 1995. It was manufactured with the 2100 series of harvesters in East Moline, Illinois, at the company's combine plant through 1997. The 2100 series also includes the entry-level 2144, rated at 180 horsepower and equipped with a 145 bushel grain bin, and the top-end model, the 2188, rated at 260 horsepower with a 210 bushel grain bin. International Harvester introduced the Axial-Flow rotary style combine in 1977 with the model 1460. The 2166 is a direct descendant of the 1460 with several upgrades. Those improvements included an all-new cab design with a curved windshield for better visibility, a stadium lighting package which also included side and rear floodlights and service lights, a theater-style layout to the right-hand console, multi-function propulsion lever, A-post instrumentation center with digital readouts, improved operator ladder, new pressure and flow compensated hydraulics and wet brakes, new safety shielding with hinge service panels for easy access, and the advanced farming system AFS Connect globe that mounted on top of the cab to collect data and transfer it via satellite to the farm. The 2166's feeder house was increased to 50 inches over the previous model 1666, which had a 47-inch feeder house. The 2166 is powered by an 8.3-liter 505 cubic inch CDC 6-cylinder turbocharged aftercooled engine rated at 215 horsepower, and it's equipped with a 92.5-gallon diesel fuel tank. It features a 3-speed hydrostatic transmission and threshes grain with a 24-inch diameter, 110-inch long axle-style rotor. The combine has a total cleaning area of 5,918 square inches. Grain is collected in the 180 bushel grain tank, which unloads at 1.9 bushels per second. The combine came standard from the factory with an 11-foot 3-inch unloading auger, and an optional 14-foot 3-inch unloading auger was also available for the machine. It weighed in at 20,940 pounds when it rolled off the assembly line. When the Case IH 2166 Axial-Flow Combine was new, it had a base list price of $121,100. Now that you know a little bit more about the Case IH 2166 Axial-Flow, let's take a look at the Shelbourne Reynolds SR 6000 stripper head. As the 2166 approaches with the Shelbourne, We can look at this wheat that's yielding about 90 bushels. It's healthy. You can see it's all full of grain, and it's just going to sweep it right off of there. Look right here where it went through. Just took all the grain right out of the head, and you can see it puts all those kernels right up in the bin. Shelbourne Reynolds introduced its stripper head for harvesting small grains in 1989. The company is based in the United Kingdom in Stanton, Suffolk. They began importing their header to the United States, with the first units being sold in Kentucky in 1990. The SR6000 header that you see working in this video was the third one sold in North America. The header's model number indicates that it has a harvesting width of 6 meters based on United Kingdom's metric system. And for the United States, it is bringing in 19 feet and 7 inches of grain per pass. When this SR6000 header was sold new in Western Kentucky in 1990, it had an original price tag of $25,000. Shelbourne Reynolds continues to manufacture its stripper heads today, and they are built for the largest flagship combines on the market. We can see this modern-day CVS header working with a Case IH 8250 Axial-Flow Combine right alongside that original SR6000 on the 2166. Ben, thank you for letting me ride here in your combine. It's always great to see a classic Axial-Flow, but also neat to see the Shelbourne. What can you tell me about the Shelbourne header?
So this is a mid-1990s Shelbourne Reynolds SR6000 header. So it is a stripper header, as he mentioned, which means it's only pulling the head off of the wheat plant instead of taking the whole plant into the combine like a conventional header. Now, we do have two of these headers. We have one that is an SR5400 that's an 18-foot, but this one I'm using today is an SR6000 that is a 20-foot.
Well, I'm excited to see this because we're near Owensboro, Kentucky, and the Miles farm was the first farm to bring these in the United States from the United Kingdom.
So my dad is originally from England, and he worked for Shelbourne Reynolds when he was in college. And my dad came from England to America to work for Miles after college, and he got Miles to acquire the dealership for Shelbourne Reynolds.
And these headers make a big difference as far as getting a little out there earlier in the season. When you have the green stems, you can start earlier and work later because you're not having to worry about higher moisture levels of straw having to be pushed through the rotor.
So you can start harvesting higher moisture wheat with the stripper header, primarily because you're not pulling the whole plant or most of the whole plant into the combine. So that makes it easier to harvest. There's less load on the combine, there's less load on the header. Another reason for the stripper headers is the particular guy that I'm custom harvesting for today is going to bale straw and do small square bales on this field as well as some of the other fields. And his customers are looking for long straw, so we're harvesting it with the stripper header, and then he's going to mow it, and then he's going to swath it and bale it. So that's the other reason for the stripper headers, is he wants long stems for the straw.
And also, back in '89, double crop soybeans, no-till soybeans were just starting in this region, and being able to harvest the wheat faster and earlier,
Yes.
let you plant your beans, and also have something to kind of keep the weed pressure off.
So it would depend on the season as to how early you could start, but you can usually start about a week earlier with a stripper header because of being able to start at higher moisture, and that allows you to get your double crop soybeans in earlier, which increases the yield of the double crop beans.
The 2166 was the first big upgrade for the Axial-Flow Combine as far as the cab, since it was originally introduced in 1977 with the 1400 series. What do you think of this machine?
I like it. I like it a lot. So this is the first combine that I have personally ever had, but in my opinion, it's a great starter combine. It's very user friendly. There's not a whole lot of these left in Kentucky, but the ones that are left in Kentucky have been doing a good job for 25 plus years, and I'm excited to see them.
We've got a great visibility of the grain bin out here, which we can see filling up, and just excellent view all the way around, and the mirrors. So that was all a big improvement in the mid '90s when these debuted. How do you like the quality of the Axial-Flow and the threshing?
I like it. It's good. I would definitely advocate for it. It's a very clean grain sample. I could turn the fan up a little bit more and get it even cleaner, but I've opted not to turn the fan up a little bit more because we were losing some out the back. So this is the happy medium where we feel it's doing a good job, but the grain quality is good. The grain is clean. So we do like the 2166.
Okay, look right up here. This is some really nice wheat. And I imagine the controls are, again, that would have been one of the updates, is having all the right-hand controls, the start of the joystick here.
Yep. So I like the joystick controls. It's very easy for me. I'm a fan of it. So the middle button here raises and lowers the header, and the left button raises and lowers the nose of the header. So the header height will go up and down depending on if the weight is standing up good versus if the weight is lodged. Like for whatever reason, if the weight was to lodge over, you would have to drop the header down to pick it up better. And that is in turn another benefit of the stripper header. If you have down lodged weight, it is a benefit to have the stripper header lower where the fingers are actually scraping it up off the ground, and you can get some better results from that. But we'd also mentioned being able to raise and lower the nose of the header, and that has to do more with your plant height. So you always want the wheat heads where they are just above the nose. So in order to get that, you can adjust your nose up or down, and you want the top of the plant just about 1 or 2 inches above the white nose so that it pushes the plant over and leans it forward just a little bit before it goes into the header.
And what kind of speed can you get from the combine running this header?
Currently 5.3. I've had as much as 6.5, but in this current field we're hanging out around 5.3, as it does tend to get tougher, damper in the evening. We have to decrease the speed to about 4, but as long as the sun is up and shining, it's a great day here in Western Kentucky. The weather's awesome. We've been very lucky this week not to have any rain. Last week was rainy, which was a benefit for the corn, but a disadvantage for the wheat. This week we've evaded the rain, and we've got some great weather for harvesting, so we're excited.
It sure is nice. And then I guess my last question would be, I guess there's less wear and tear on the combine. You're putting less material through it.
Yeah,
from this.
definitely less material going through the combine, which is easier on the threshing mechanisms within the combine itself.
And we get a glimpse here of the 8250, which is a much newer combine, but he's cruising through on a stripper head as well.
It is a newer stripper header. It is a 32 foot, but it is also a Shelbourne Reynolds. It was originally built in Suffolk in the United Kingdom, a couple hours from where my dad grew up. So it's really cool that we're getting to use some stripper headers made in England here in Kentucky. I don't see the grain cart. Oh, there it is.
So these combines came with about a 14-foot auger, I think, standard from the factory. You've lengthened this out a little bit just to be able to reach up in the bigger, newer carts.
Yes, we did put a longer unloading auger on it because we were struggling to reach as high as the new current model grain carts. Back when some people had a 750 or 850 bushel grain cart, the auger length was fine, but with larger grain carts, this one here is a 1300 bushel, for example. We were really struggling to reach the grain cart, and like I said earlier, we've gone from an 18-foot stripper header to a 20, and that in turn also required a longer auger.
Well, we can see it empties right out pretty fast and doing a good job moving the wheat along. I hope that you've enjoyed spending some time out in the field with this Case IH 2166 Axial-Flow Combine, harvesting wheat with the Shelbourne Reynolds SR6000. I would like to hear in the comment section below this video if you use Axial-Flow Combines on your farm. Tell me about the model that you're running and the crops that you harvest with it. If you've appreciated this presentation, I hope that you'll consider subscribing to Big Tractor Power YouTube, where there are over 3,000 videos of farm machines in action. As always, thank you for watching.